So hello. I've got a one-shot, and I need to get ready for it. So I figured that I would invite all of you to come to the Game Master's desk and hang out with me while I did so. We are going to be playing Mouse Guard, which is a role-playing game by my dear friend Luke Crane, based on a comic book series, by David Peterson. It has amazing art, and you can tell some very cool stories with it. And the game is quite cool because it uses some of the stuff that I love from the Burning Wheel.
Our illustrious champion returns.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome home.
And it does so in a very focused way, which I think is quite cool. There are some people who refer to Mouse Guard as like Burning Wheel Light. I think it's Torchbearer Light, but that's splitting hairs. It's mechanically fairly straightforward. You gather up a bunch of D6s based on the skill or ability that you want to use to overcome the obstacle in front of you. You roll those dice. Dice that are 4, 5s, or 6s are successes. You need a certain number of successes to get the thing that you want, and then you move on. What I like about this game, and what you're going to see in the GM prep for it, is that moving from roll to roll is very structured. Hey, Octopus Feet. It provides the characters with a clear and obvious choice of what comes next. And we take turns going back and forth between the GM putting obstacles in front of the players and the players having their opportunity to kind of hang out and recover from those obstacles. Now, I'm not going to give you like a full rules rundown because we don't really need to do that right now. You can get more of that information as I kind of teach the players through character creation in the actual show that we're going to do at the end of the week. Today, what I want to focus on is how I prepare a Mouse Guard scenario, and maybe that will be of some use to you. Now, there's lots of other good Mouse Guard actual plays out there. The game has been out for a little while, and I know that it's something that is popular in the circles that are interested in games. If you want to watch some good Mouse Guard stuff, we did a show of it as a kind of like a 2 or 3 shot back on Roll20 on the Roll20 Presents channel, so you can see that on YouTube. Also, Eric Vulgaris just recently finished a short run of Mouse Guard, and I think that Mouse Guard does a great job at one or a few shots. Like, I've run a campaign of Mouse Guard. Back when it was first coming out, I ran a very long campaign of Mouse Guard, but it also does one-shots really well, and I think that you can dedicate an hour to character creation and then 3 hours to play if you have players that are focused. I would love to get through character creation in the first hour. And so what we need to do is design a mission that should take about 3 hours. But what you're going to see when we take a closer look at how the mission stuff is structured, it gives the GM an amazing amount of control over how much game there is left. You essentially plot out where the mission begins, where the mission ends, and how much complexity in the middle there is. But if you want to, you can fast track straight to the end of the mission as you need, which is what makes it so appealing for me, right? Like, I think that as a performance structure, as playing a game online, it's actually right down the sort of correct alley. So let's talk a little bit about what I need to do as the game master. I'm going to be going back and forth between two windows here. I've already set up my account in Roll20. I've imported some cards, and you'll see all that on the live show. I'm going to be using 2 programs here. One, this is the PDF of the Mouse Guard role-playing game. This is preview. It's the OS X built-in PDF viewer. It's easy, straightforward. And then I'm also going to be using a program called OmniGraffle. OmniGraffle is a flowchart, and it's a charting program, basically. I use it for relationship maps, mostly. Like, for example, this is the Burning Wheel game that I'm playing right now. So I use it to make relationship maps. You can also make flowcharts and what have you for it. So we'll be making a brand new flowchart, and we will be showing you how Mouse Guard works. So in Mouse Guard, the structure of the game is that you begin the game with the patrol of mice. Look at them. Aren't they cute? You have a patrol of mice, and the Mouse Guard is the name not only of the characters in the game, right? They are members of the Mouse Guard, but it's the organization, it's the structure, and they stand apart from the Mouse Territory societies in that they are kind of the most human of all the mice. They overcome their natural inclination towards being mousy for the most part. Mice are inclined mechanically through the game to behave naturally, to hide, to forage, to act like you expect little mice to expect to behave. But the Mouse Guard are the kinds of mice that wield weapons and are brave and wage war, right? And so in the setting, the Mouse Guard is an organization that has just come out of a terrible war with the weasels. And weasels are like the orcs in this setting. But really, they're not like orcs. They're more like Saracens. I tend to play this game like it's a parable about the post-Crusades European kind of setting, only with mice. But if you look at the art of the weasels, I don't know if I can find a weasel real quick for you, but you'll see one as we go. They wield scimitars and wear ringmail, and they're the scary foreigners. So anyway, they've just finished this war with the weasels. They have the territories that they've seized, and what they do is they have a scent barrier around the mouse territories, and that keeps out things like wolves and foxes and mooses and what have you, which, as you can imagine, if you're a mouse, are a huge problem. So they have these little towns spread out throughout the mouse territories, and they protect them. The guard's job is to go from town to town. They leave Lockhaven, which is their stronghold. They leave it in the spring, and they wander from town to town, essentially like kind of doing jobs. It's a little dogs in the vineyard-esque that way, in the sense that they serve their society, and they have some authority to solve problems. The characters will have a built-in hierarchy. Someone will be the patrol leader. Others will be lesser patrol mice. So someone will be in charge. I'm going to put my money on either Zeke or Trist making the character who's in charge. They can play Tenderpaws, who are like brand new uncloaked mice trying to earn their cloak. And then the cloak is like in dogs, like the quilted coat in dogs. It's a symbol of their place in the guard. So the color and what have you is important to their identity. So what happens in the game is the game begins with them setting out from Lockhaven and going out on their mission. The mission is given to them by the mouse matriarch, Gwendolyn, and she says, okay, this patrol, we need you to go to this place and do this thing. It might be guard a caravan. It might be find a missing merchant. It might be drive away a snapping turtle. It might be carry the mail. It might be repair the scent barrier, right? It might be like go and investigate the signs of weaseldom. So we need to first kind of decide what that's going to be, what their mission is going to be. And then what we do is just create complications on the path from here to there. The game goes back and forth between a GM turn in which the player's goal is to overcome the obstacles that I put before them. So I'm going to say, before you lies the long path to your destination. It is spring. The path is still wet. Maybe there's been some rain. You need to find your way from here to there. Who's going to be doing that? Give them what they need to roll. They roll. We move on. The GM will continue, that's me, will continue to put obstacles in front of them until such time that they find safety, right? They might come to another town, they might make a camp, and that's their opportunity to switch into the player phase. And during the player phase, they get to spend checks. Checks are a form of currency that they're going to earn by playing their character. As they play their character, as they use their traits, they're going to hinder themselves for role-playing sake and earn checks. Checks allow them, during the player turn, whether in town or in camp, to recover from their wounds or pursue their own agendas, right? So they'll take their turn, they'll use up their checks, then we'll switch back to my turn where I put obstacles in front of them, and we go back and forth until they either succeed at their mission or they give up. So when I come up with, and this is the crux of things, when I come up with a mission, my job is to figure out what the obstacles are during the GM turn and figure out what happens if the players succeed or fail at those obstacles. So, for example, if I put in front of them the long and overgrown path from one town to another and they fail, I have to choose to introduce either a twist or inflict on them a condition. So conditions in Mouse Guard are a bit like hit points in Dungeons and Dragons. So in this game, let me see if I can find the character sheet. I'll see if there's one at the back of the book here. In this game, instead of... Yeah, it doesn't look like there's one in the book. But instead of reducing your hit points, you accumulate conditions. And the conditions are things like afraid or angry or hungry or so on, right? And they escalate in difficulty. So I might start by saying... You tried to make the long journey from Lockhaven to, I don't know, Barksburg, and you failed your roll. You failed your Pathfinder roll. Now, my choice as the GM is to either say, okay, along the way, something else happens. Now you have to deal with that. Or I can say, yes, you get what you want, but now everyone is hungry and thirsty. Right? These conditions are bad. You get more and more beat up as you go. The worst conditions get worse as you accumulate them, and then you have to work them off in order. So if you're hungry and thirsty, you have to get rid of that before you can get rid of angry. Like you can't stop being angry until you deal with a more present
Welcome home.
a more present issue. So these can be bad if you let them pile up. And anyone who's saying that it reminds them of Darkest Dungeon, yes, there's actually another game. It's sort of Mouse Guard Advanced called Torchbearer. That's very, very much a slightly less gothic, slightly more fantasy Darkest Dungeon RPG, basically. I would love to do a one shot of that. Honestly, if the Mouse Guard one shot goes well and people like it, I would love to invite Jeff, Zeke, JP, and maybe someone else who really likes Darkest Dungeon and have them on. Maybe I think Dodger's been playing it. Have them on and be like, cool, here's a tabletop version of that. But yeah, same core mechanics and stuff, a little bit different. But we'll talk about that when we GM prep for that in the future when that happens. For now, we have to come up with a mission, a mouse mission. So there's a particular chapter. The version of the PDF that I have is it doesn't have the bookmark, so I got to do it myself. But the mission, here we go, 53. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a quick look at what the game suggests that we do for our mission, and then we're going to talk about the premise, and then I'm going to start doing that flowchart. So the mission, once we've formed the patrol, we've done all that stuff, we assign the mission. So we're going to pick a season, right? So in the first session of a new game, the group decides what season they want to start in. It's traditional to start in spring, but summer and fall are acceptable as well. The smart move here, I think, is to just set it in the spring. The spring is the best time for starting. So I think we're going to do a spring mission, which means winter has thawed. The Guard have spent they've spent a season in Lockhaven in the Great Fortress of the Mouse Guard, and now all the patrols are heading out from Lockhaven into the world to reconnect with the Mouse territories. So I think we're going to do a spring mission. The assigned mission should be short and direct. It should include a location, a duty to perform, and a time frame, right? So track down the grain peddler en route from Rootwallow to Barkstone. Deliver spring mail to Gilpledge, etc. Help Grasslake with its turtle problem. So Gwendolyn is going to give them a mission. It's going to give the patrol leader a mission. And what I want to do is I want to give them a mission that has like another secret mission for the patrol leader.
Welcome to the map.
That's what I want. I want to do something that's like, here is your mission, but while you're on this mission, secretly do this other thing, patrol leader, right? Like, I like the idea. I'm all about the like political intrigue. Basically every Mouse Guard campaign I've ever had, the Guard itself comes into question, right? Like, should we be this authoritarian additional structure? But I don't know if we're gonna have time for that. But I want to give whoever chooses to be the leader some other kind of like little special thing that they can do. So let's think about some problems that the Mouse territories might have, right? Some typical duties include patrolling. path clearing, trailblazing, carrying mail, escorting, weather watching, hunting predators, maintaining the scent border, rescuing mice in distress, and mediating disputes. So right away, for me, what leaps forward would be like an escort mission. Like here's a diplomat from another another town, maybe escort them home, right? They've been in Lockhaven for the winter, and now we want you to take them home. So we can just introduce dangers along the way, right? Do a little escort mission, a little MMO style. Or we could do, let's see, we could do like I like mediating disputes too, but that feels like, I don't know, that feels like it forces us to be very social. Oh, I like that. Mist Elf, escort a fugitive. Yeah, so like they have someone who they've captured, some kind of traitor, and they need to take them back to the town they're from to face justice. Oh, I like that. Oh, okay, cool. So it's an escort, but it's like they've committed some crime. Escort the payload. Yeah, when they get there, the town blows up. Okay, so here's a creepy thing in this game, and I don't really want to get too into the like nitty gritty of the mouse like politics, but there are definitely mice who like worship the weasels. Who see them as like dark gods. Weasels in this literally eat babies. Like they literally like they're baby eating monsters. So you gotta be a little off your rocker to like worship them. And I think that if I pause it, yeah, check this out. Look at that's a weasel. Look at him. Look at his nasty face. His head is as big as that mouse. So like a traitor guard maybe or something like that. Like. Yeah. No, you know what? Okay, here we go. So they're the person captured. So escort like a political dissident. But the secret mission is find out who in town supported them. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Okay. Escort a political dissident back to I need a town. Let me see. Is the map in this PDF? Maybe not. Okay, well here let's go to the town. There should be a towns list. Guard mouse. Liam and Kenzie and Saxon. Because I know during character creation you have to pick a town that you're from. We just need a location for them to go. Yeah, there's no rats. There's no rats in this game. Rats are too urban. This is a very rural game. But yeah, the idea is to either interrogate the person or find out who the real, like, who's the power, right? This guy is just a minor functionary in the conspiracy. Here we are again, the anti-guard conspiracies. I can't escape them. But we'll see if we even get to town, right? Like the guy might get lost or captured by enemies. I definitely want there to be an animal twist. Yeah. Okay. Well, here, maybe I can just Control F this. Flint, I think, is the name of one of the towns. Flintrust is the name of one of the towns. There it is. Here we go. Okay, so towns and settlements. Let's see. Spruce Tuck is where they brew beer. We need one that kind of like isn't really like connected to the guard that much. Port Sumac is a seaside town. Oh, that might be fun. Port Sumac, Ivydale. Elmos grows the The healing stuff, I think, is their jam. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Port Sumac. Okay. Okay. So let's assume then that the law here is that towns issue justice. As far as mice go, towns issue justice to their own mice. The mouse guard has no right to judge, jury, and executioner. They're not Judge Dredd here. So okay. So the law means the guard does not judge other mice. And that's part of what keeps them in check. But secretly, Gwendolyn's like, yo, maybe if you arrange for an accident or something for this guy, like, find out who, the second mission would be, like, report back, and then she might be like, yeah, maybe arrange for an accident for the mayor of this town or whatever. But the idea here is to find out who, yeah, okay. So, secret mission for the pack, or for the guard leader. Find out who leads the dissidents in Port Sumac. Now, I mean, I said this at the beginning, and this is going to be true all the way through. I'm a much more like political mouse guard GM than most people. You can do this very much like the guard are heroes and everyone loves them, but I tend to prefer that they're like displaced. This is like post-Vietnam, right? There's all these displaced soldiers. The war is over, and everyone kind of resents that the mice of the guard have all these like swords and like wander around and they're like tough, and they like boss people around functionally. So yeah, I wanna work that in some fashion. Okay, all right. So let's jump over to OmniGraffle, and we will start up our first. We'll start up our first object. And then we will work out what else we need as we go. So what I'm going to do in OmniGraffle is I'm just going to create a nodal point that I can move around and I can copy essentially. So let me pick a font for this thing. How's Menlo look? Little cyberpunk. Don't think I need that one. Avenir's okay. There we go. That'll do it. Okay, we'll make it a little bigger. Sorry, font choice is important. All right. Escort a prisoner. I need like an Anglo-Saxon name for this prisoner. Because all the mice have these Anglo-Saxon names like Liam and Kenzie. Wolfred is a good one. Yeah. Escort a prisoner to Port Sumac to face justice. Mousy justice. Okay. All right. So that's their mission. And immediately we have to place before them a complication, a task, something that they need to do. So I think... Hold on a second. I'm going to see... I just need to see if I can pull up a map of the mouse territories. Give me a second here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Pop back there. Okay. So here's our map of the territories. Lockhaven is here. Port Sumac is there. Ooh, boat trip. Oh yeah. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna get little mousy boats. Mouse boats. All right. So the first thing is gonna be get from Lockhaven to Darkwater. So let's take a look. Make your way from Lockhaven to Darkwater. So this is going to be a Pathfinder test. I can determine this in advance because we know some things about it. And then we got to figure out the obstacle. So let's take a look at Pathfinder. So in this game, all of the skills have not preset, but oh, look at that! That shit's so good. They have ways to figure out the obstacle, which is the number of successes needed to defeat a test. So in this case, let's look at Pathfinder. So Pathfinder makes and marks path between the mouse cities and towns into various resources like streams, springs, lakes, etc. So they are called factors. Exactly. So to arrive at the destination, it is a short journey. Lockhaven to Darkwater. It's not like Lockhaven to Pebblebrook. So like 1, 2, 3. The route is well-traveled, so 4. An OB4 Pathfinder test. That seems about right. Okay.
Our illustrious champion.
So it's an obstacle
returns.
4 Pathfinder
Welcome
test.
home.
Now, this is where it gets fun. This is where we actually start to do our job. So if they succeed at the test, they arrive in Darkwater. And that'll allow them potentially to take a player turn, like almost right away, right? Which is fine. So maybe here, let's put another thing in the way first. So let's give them another task before they're allowed to go from Lockhaven to Darkwater. Let's say immediately when they set out, before they get a chance to head off for Darkwater, there's an obstruction, right? So help clear the road. So this would be cute. They leave and they're like, off we go. And then in like a few hours they find a stuck wagon, and the road has been obstructed, and they need to help their fellow mice clear the road. So maybe there's like another path, another group of mice, another guard patrol that they run into that they need to help. So help clear the road. So that's another test. And I believe, I think laborer is in this game, aka the best skill in the universe. Yeah, it is. It's a laborer test. All they got to do is help dig. So yeah, not a wagon, but another patrol, right? So they're like, well, hi friends, where are you going? Oh, who's this guy? Right? It'll be a chance to role play a little and be like, oh, well, we're gonna go take some mail to whatever, this town, and then but nobody can go this way. This road is blocked. Maybe you can help us. And so they break out the shovels and they all spend a little while digging.
Returned.
So laborer is the test here. Yeah, so this would be like when they leave Lockhaven, somewhere here. Maybe they're going to Ironwood, and like up here somewhere they get blocked before they get a chance to do that. So yeah. So let's see. That's a laborer test. And I think that it's a laborer test of like, I don't know. Gathering. It's a little harder than gathering wood. So maybe like 2 or 3. Let's see. For factors, I just want to check real quick. Yeah, I think the factor here is that it's ob 3. I tend to lean a little higher. Yeah, if I'm not sure, I'll push a little bit higher. So the way this game works, I saw Wolf Der Schatten say, I'm not familiar with the game, but it sounds like he's making a lot of choices with the players. That's my job. In the GM phase, I say, this is the obstacle in front of you. What are you going to do? They're certainly allowed to propose alternatives, but my job is to pick the clearest, most obvious thing that they have to do. Then they can say, oh, well, what if we did this instead? That's where on the fly I can pick out that stuff. But generally, for me, as part of prep, I don't have to do any of this. I could just like write down what they have to do and make it up as I go. But I like to flowchart this stuff. So it's a laborer test, ob 3. And now this is where we can start to connect these. So we get a fail and a success path. So if they succeed, 1, 2. Boop. Make a little green one. And I guess we can make these a little bigger because we want them to stand out. Here we go. All right. So if they succeed, they've cleared the path, and now they can make their way from Lockhaven to Darkwater. Now, if they fail, my choice here is to either introduce a twist or inflict a condition. So what I think I'm going to do here is this would be a great opportunity for me just to teach them about conditions. So if they fail, let's go ahead and give them a red arrow for failure. If they fail at this test, I think we just give them the first condition. Right? We just say, you get what you want, but now everyone who is a part of it takes a condition. So let's take a look at the conditions. I think hungry and thirsty is the first one. Conditions of recovery 125. Yes, hungry and thirsty. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So that's fine. You just like you set out and now you wasted a bunch of time and you're hungry. Like I could inflict tired, I guess, but I feel like hungry makes sense here. So hungry and thirsty. Thirsty. Hungry and thirsty. And then boop. And now you can make your way. So you can see how the game kind of flows from one to the other, right? So like, yeah, I guess if I put the thing of the game here is that it's not a free form, like you can do whatever you want thing. It's the GM's job to say, this is what you must do. If you don't want to do this, what else? How are you going to overcome this obstacle? That's my job. Yeah, hungry and thirsty is one paired condition. You can drink or eat to clear that. So here we go. So we help clear the road. If they succeed, then they get to go to Lockhaven. They all kind of salute each other and wander their own ways. I am super excited to see if they try to force the prisoner to help them because they can get helping dice, right? So I'm all of these little moments we role play. We don't just say, clear the road. Okay, next, make your way to Lockhaven. Next, right? Like in this moment, I'm going to role play. Again, what's fun for me here, and I get to have a little PC or NPC along the way with them, who's like grumbling and being a political dissident and being like, you guard, you're terrible. You should just let me go. Listen, you don't understand what, like how things are out in the world, right? And like, they might convert him along the way, or they might punish him, or like there's lots of ways that we can play that up, and that'll happen during this stuff. Dig a hole, inmate. Exactly. Like, are they going to be? It's we put them in the cloak and we give them the sword and we say, are you going to be the fascist that he thinks that you are, or are you going to be better than that? Right? Like, do we see the characters being kind to this prisoner? Do we see them? We're going to learn about them through this situation. So yeah, this is how it works. So they take their condition and we move them over to make your way from Lockhaven to Darkwater. Oh, I should also include on here my secret mission. Secret mission for the patrol leader. Find out who gives Wolfred his orders. Secret mission. And when I say secret, I mean secret like to the characters. All the players will know. Yeah, this is going to be an open secret because it's too hard to keep all this shit a secret. Okay, so here's my flowchart so far. This is what our game looks like. So the next thing is what happens after they get to Darkwater. Do we go into a PC, like a player turn already? I feel like we need one more problem. What's a problem outside Darkwater they can run into? I want to give them one more obstacle when they arrive. Let's look at Darkwater. What's Darkwater about? Darkwater is a major shipping city, the water gateway to Port Sumac, Calogero, and Rustleaf. Okay, so we can just make up whatever we want. Oh, that's good. I like that. Pay the dark water toll. Right. Okay. So the guard are they're a trade system. Oh, I like that. No, I like that a lot. Okay, so the Darkwater Toll. Now we can just jump in and throw this into the game. The people of Darkwater over the winter, over the winter have decided that we're gonna test out a currency. We're gonna use currency in Darkwater, and when you arrive in Darkwater, you have to pay the toll. You have to trade for some currency in Darkwater. This is like, I don't know, like itchy and scratchy bucks. So pay the Darkwater toll, or I guess they could like muscle their way in and like, you know, shove the Darkwater mice around, but that's gonna make them look bad when they get to Darkwater. So pay the Darkwater toll. So if you want to come into Darkwater and you want to like hang out here, you need to pay. This is the success condition if they make their way there. So we'll figure out if they fail first. So pay the Darkwater toll, and let's see, what do they need to? What skills do they need to use? Let's see, 224. Haggler probably, or I guess they could just use Persuader or Manipulator. Yeah, I think we can look at some options here. So Baker, Boat Crafter. I think it's either Persuader or Manipulator, right? Haggler is bargaining over goods and services. That can come later. Yeah, okay. So let's look at it. Manipulator test or a Persuader test. And they're both going to be versus tests. So Manipulator, or I guess they could fight them if they wanted. Manipulator or Persuader versus test. Okay. So what that's going to mean is I need to figure out how many dice the enemy has, so I can figure out. Let me look at the NPCs. There's a bunch of NPCs in the back here. Not you, Sloan. Sample NPCs. Okay. Because I figured they're like guards or. Let's look up, because I know the NPC section has bandits in it, so I'll just use that. Here we go. Okay, so these guys are like kind of town guards, but they're not mouse guards. So I'm just trying to figure out how many tests to give them, or how many dice to give them. These are harvesters, hunters, politician, muscle. Here we go, muscle. These are muscle for sure. All right, so they have a will of 2, a health of 6. Let's take a look. Yeah, exactly. Guard mice, not guard mice. Yeah. Okay. So I need to go back to Persuader, the skill, and figure out. Yeah. Okay. So it's used against their manipulator, Persuader, or will. All right. So I think that they probably have a manipulator or persuader. Let's say a number of dice here they need to roll is going to be 3. Now that seems 2 with help. So this should be an easy test, right? To convince them this is a bad idea. But you never know, right? Players have failed at easier tests. So that's what happens if they succeed at making their way from Lockhaven to Darkwater. There we go. And if they fail, this is where I can introduce another twist, right? So I can go like this, and you are beginning to see, I think, how this shakes out. So if they fail, I mean, I think obviously the choice here is that Wolfred escapes. right? Like he just books it in the night. Let's get him. So this is a versus test. Let's see here. I think Wolfred, he's got scout. Let's say versus 4 dice. No, does that seem like a lot? No, let's call it 4 dice because they're gonna have help. He's gonna be outnumbered. And I think that the thing is, what's great here is if they fail. And again, I'm gonna just highlight how great Mouse Guard is for you. Here's the thing. Even if they fail, I don't have to be like, okay, great. Well, he's escaped. You're screwed. Try to find him. If they fail, we're just going to give them a condition. So check this out. They succeed. Great. You got him back. Now you got to pay the Darkwater toll. You're at Darkwater. No problem. However, if you fail to capture Wolfred, I'm going to inflict a condition. Nice and easy. Guess what? Whoever's chasing him, probably the patrol leader, you get angry. Everybody else that's involved, I think, gets tired. So, condition. Roller gets angry. And helpers get tired. Or is that the other way around? I don't want to inflict the worst one. They have an order. I think it might be the other way around. I think angry is first. Let me check. We are on 125. All right. Yeah, angry is first and tired. Okay, so I think that maybe everybody gets angry and the person in charge gets tired. That's even better, right? So like one of the mice is too tired. They're just like, oh, fuck this guy. Oh my God. And everyone else is like, oh, so mad. Why did you escape? What I love about this, get out of here, Siri. What I love about this is that the characters don't get a choice, right? The players can't say, my character wouldn't be angry about this. I'm like, no, you are. You don't have control over your emotions. You can control what you do about it, but you're angry now. But hey, you get him. He's back. So you can see kind of how the pacing of the game works, that I'm never in a position to be like, oh shit, I don't know what to do now. I can't pace this game anymore. You can see how no matter what, they're going to end up getting to Darkwater and having to pay the toll. And that's it, right? And so this is enough stuff, I think, now. Even if we go success, 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 they go to town, and then we can do... Here, let's make this a different color so we can tell that it is a player thing. Make it green. Here we go. Player turn. In Darkwater. So there you go. That's if they succeed. Now I got to do one more fail. Right? Because if they fail at this test, we need one more thing. So what might happen if they fail to pay the toll, right? Or if they fail to convince them not to pay because they don't have any money, and these Darkwater thugs want... They want them to pay up. They want something in exchange. So what do you think? What do you think might be a good failure condition if they can't convince them, like, hey, dummy, like, we're the guard. What are you doing? Here, I'm going to zoom out on this slightly. There we go. What do you think? I don't want it to be like we get stuck in Darkwater forever, right? Like I want to be able to move on past this point. So Mr. Mustachio, I know it seems to paint by numbers, but you got to see it in action. You really do have to wait and see. You really have to wait and see what happens. It can seem this way if you've never seen the game in action, but trust me, it's not. Let's see. Right, we could just give them. They could just give them what they want, right? Oh, maybe they just don't get the player turn, right? Like they have to go around and like steal a boat or something. Yeah, not allowed in Darkwater. Oh, that's kind of good because then they don't get the player turn. Yeah. Okay. So, which means the obstacle then has to be like, how do you get to the boat? What do you do? Right. So that I can turn over to them. Like, not allowed in dark water, but you need a boat. And then they could scout. They could steal one with scout. We could do a conflict between them and the thing, like at night where they steal a boat. Or I guess they could make one, right? But one way or another, they need a boat to get from Darkwater to Port Sumac. I guess if they really want to, we could do a difficult Pathfinder test to go the long way. So I guess not allowed in Darkwater. I will present to them some options. So here's where it starts to split again. So I'm going to need to spread this out because I guess the Darkwater toll makes things much more complicated. So not allowed in Darkwater. And then we need a black line. To lead them, we'll do a black line and then we'll lead them from here to their next set of potential objectives. So I guess the next thing that they could do, the next things are steal a boat or make a boat or go the long way. Steal a boat. Make a boat. I love that. Or you can go your own way. Go the long way round. Fantastic. Okay, these are your three options. I'm going to flip this. And I need actually to recolor. This arrow because that's a fail arrow. Okay, so anyway, not allowed in Darkwater leads them to having to pick another way across. Hey, Steely, thank you. No, they definitely can't swim. This is not swimmable. This is like in human space, it's miles. Steal a boat, make a boat, or go the long way around. All of these things will, no matter what, I'm going to put them in town. But we'll see how they get there. Like succeed or fail, all three of these can lead to getting to Port Sumac. So, okay. Let's make these. They can't buy a boat because if they've gotten to this point, they've failed, right? We'll have to have a separate one after the player turn in Darkwater. But this is only if they fail to pay the toll, right? Because then they're like, nope, get the fuck out of here. If you can't pay to come in, that's how it goes. You have to find your own way. No, the toll is just for being allowed to come into Darkwater. It's the new rules in Darkwater. You have to buy into the local economy or you're not allowed to be a part of, you can't come in. I don't care if you're the guard or what. The people in Darkwater have some strange ideas about how money works. Okay, so let's see what these obstacles are going to be. So if you want to steal a boat, we could do a conflict versus the boat guards versus the guards at the dock. If they want to make one, there's like a a specific like skill for boats. Find boat. Boat crafter. Seriously, it's got its own skill. They make them out of leaves. It's really cute. So let's find boat crafter and see what kind of test it is. Making a boat. And you know the sailing is going to be a test. It's going to be good. Okay, so boat crafter factors are 241. So making a boat for one use for a mouse patrol is 1, 2, 3, ob 4. Okay. for boat crafter. Lens crafter. Boat crafter ob 34. Okay. No, Major Tom Online, there are proper bookmarks in that PDF. I just have a pre-release version of the PDF that doesn't have them. If you bought it, you'd have it yourself. I just haven't updated. And going the long way around, this one's going to be more difficult. So let's call it a Pathfinder Ob 5. Okay. So I think that I want to do a weather twist because we haven't had one of those yet. And then we also have to figure out what happens if they do get their player turn. So let's do that now.
Have returned.
So this becomes... What's up, Dencor? Welcome back. This becomes beg, borrow, or rent passage. And this is going to be a haggler.
Our illustrious champion returns.
Haggler test.
Welcome home.
Let's look at haggler. Haggler, here we go. Okay, so haggler is a versus test against the merchant. Let's give him 4 dice.
You have returned.
Haggler versus 4 dice. Look at all these resubs. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so now we gotta bend this thing out. There we go. And we'll like that, and we'll go like that. Beg, borrow, or rent passage. So this is like, hey, we need a boat. So come on, this is give us a boat. And either they can buy a boat, rent a boat, like whatever. If they can't get this is if they succeed. Like follow the path, right? Succeed at paying the toll, getting into town, haggling for a boat. They'll never get here if they fail at this one, right? Fail, not allowed, got to find another way. All of this stuff, success will lead to arriving, right? This would be another like player turn in Port Sumac, and that's the end, right? More or less. They can pursue their own stuff. If we have more time, I can introduce more things like a trip home. But player turn in Port Sumac is ultimately where they end up if everything goes great. So let's put this, I'm going to put this down at the very end. This is the last thing that'll happen. Potentially. If we have more time, I'll throw in some additional stuff. But I don't think we're going to need filler, honestly. Like, this is all little roleplay scenes. I figure we're gonna have lots of material here. Okay, so yeah, so this is how that goes. Now we definitely need something cool to happen in the water in this space. Now let's look at this one. So if they succeed at going the long way around, I'd love to put another obstacle in their way based on the map. So how about an animal obstacle? Because they're near the wild country. No, they start at Lock Haven. The trip here is Lock Haven to Port Sumac. Can I mark this up? No. Lock Haven to Darkwater. Darkwater, take a boat to Sumac. Now, if they can't go to Darkwater, they can take the long route around Lone Pine up to Port Sumac. So somewhere on this trip, I want to like rounding the curve to Port Sumac. We could either do like a water-based animal. Oh, a toad. That would be cool. A fox. Seagulls. Oh my God. Yes. Oh, are there seagulls? Are there like seagulls in the, let me look if there's gulls in the stat block. Oh, there aren't, but I love the idea of seagulls being a problem. Okay. I can like figure out. No, it's totally fucking seagulls. I'll figure it out. I'll work out some stats for them. Seagulls. A bunch of seagulls have seagulls squatting on the road. So they have to like drive them off or they have to deal with them. Oh my God, they're so annoying. There's like 3 of them and they're just like, meh, meh, like just honking and being annoying. And they have to figure out how to placate them. So conflict maybe, or else hunter to drive them off. They could also like bribe them, or I'll leave this one open to the players. So hunter versus, depending on time. It's so good, yeah. Yeah, so exactly. And the seagulls are just like, oh, little mice. What's going on? Maybe you have food. And they're huge and annoying, and they're not really like deadly, but you have to try to like scare them off or like distract them or sneak past them, right? But the idea is here is they've blocked the road. So I think that's the success here. And then if they succeeded that leads them to Port Sumac. So let me drop in success orders for these ones. So this is the success path here. 1, 2. Okay. So if they fail at going the long way around, I think I want to have like a weather. I want to have a weather thing. I wonder. Yeah, failure on this one is just going to be a condition. Okay, let's not get too distracted. Let's pull in another condition one. So condition here is roller gets tired, helpers get hungry and thirsty, right? That's a nice easy one for the fail condition. Boop. And So what's going to be fun, I think, for y'all, I hope, if you watch the one-shot, what's going to be fun is seeing how these plans, like, work out or don't, right? Like, I'm making all these plans, but as we know, prep doesn't matter until it happens, like, on screen. So I'm really curious to see how all this goes. Because ultimately we're only going to take one of these paths, right? We'll trace our way. I'm going to make this available to you. If you're going to GM Mouse Guard, you can just steal this whole thing. This is a Mouse Guard adventure. So I'll post this somewhere, and you can just grab it and you can use it for your own game and see where your players go, right? We're literally designing an adventure for Mouse Guard right now together, which I think is super cool. Okay. So yeah, they succeed, then they deal with the seagulls, then they go the long way around, they get the condition, then they have to deal with the seagulls, right? So this ultimately, I should flip these. This ultimately leads to Port Sumac no matter what. So let's do that. Give me my arrow back, thank you. Yes, yeah, I'll when I stat up the seagulls, I'll post that somewhere. Y'all can grab it too. Okay, there we go. So we got another one of these little triangles that leads to the seagulls, and then down there. Now, if they steal a boat and they fail, I think I want to give them a boat either way on these. So let's say they get if they fail at the stealing a boat. Let's give them a condition. So the conditions are 125. So they like just barely make it. Yeah, I think injured is probably a good one. Yeah. Okay. Injured. And then everybody else gets either angry or tired. Roller gets injured. Helpers get angry or tired. Now, if you already have a condition, you take I think you take the next most serious one. But this one would be interesting because I can ask the players. I can say like, okay, would you be angry about this? That lets me turn it over to them a little bit. But I like the idea of being like, yeah, you're pissed because why wouldn't it reinforces that you're the guard and you're doing like your sacred duty protecting the mice, and like these shitty jerks are not letting you do your job, right? It's there's lots to be angry about in the world of Mouse Guard. Okay, so here's our adventure so far. If you fail to make the boat, I think If they don't fail anything, you want to see the direct path? Okay. Mission, clear the road, get to like Lockhaven, pay the toll, player turn, beg, borrow, or rent passage, Port Sumac, right? And maybe I want to have like a sailing thing that happens no matter what after. All three of these boat ones will lead to the same sailing test. Okay, so anyway, what happens if they make the boat and fail? They fail that OB4 boat crafter test. What could happen that would be a condition here? Now I can throw in a twist. Maybe they have to go the other way around. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, the boat leaks. Oh, that's so good. They still get, yeah. Okay. Because boat crafter, but see, that's like a link test because I want the navigation to be the next thing. Like the sailing part, if they have to sail alone. But I can't just make it, I think it has to be another condition. And then those both lead to the sailing test. Yeah, I think that works. So this condition instead, I think the person making the boat gets tired. Helpers get hungry and thirsty. And then again, if they already have these, shit's going to be getting worse and worse. So this is a fairly like grindy run, which I think is quite cool. And then either of these will lead to the sailing test. I guess all of this stuff will, success or fail. So let's make that last sailing test. And I think this is rent a boat, right? They have to make the sailing test themselves. Yeah, okay. I think that makes sense. Okay. So this is the like, and the test isn't actually sailing. I think it might be another boat crafting test. Yeah, there's no sailing skill. So boat craft. I think boat crafter is both for making boats and for sailing them, but let me double check. Where's the actual skill? Here we go. Navigate waterways. Yep, so it's another boat crafter test. Okay, cool. All right, and so the OB is going to be the... I think it'll be... Oh, I know. We can... oh, Sith Master says the conditions don't progress. 127 under red text. Okay, let me double check that. Because I am actually really curious. I should check that out. 127. Yeah, like what happens if you already have a condition? Multiple conditions. Yada, yada, yada. All conditions are singular. You don't have to worry about getting that until you've recovered from it. Oh, okay. Cool. All right. So I think the thing here is now, I mean, Blue Jay makes a point of like a player turn at the end is very difficult. Now, I guess the other option here, if they're smart, that's a good point. Like if you were honestly, Blue Jay, if you were on their team, you would know to point this out. I might have to mention it. Find somewhere to make camp, right? And this is where they can force themselves. They can be like a forced player turn, set up camp. So this test would be, you get me all distracted. I got to fill in all these bubbles. Okay, what skill would it be here to set up camp? Exactly, we'll make our own player turn.
Our
Fuck you.
illustrious champion returns.
224.
Welcome home.
There's like a specific one for setting up, like doing camping and shit. 224. Survivalist, I think, is the name of the skill. So they're like, fine, we'll just camp outside town. Okay, that works. Survivalist knows how to make shelter. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so building shelter for the patrol is OB3. OB3 Survivalist. Oh my god, and if they succeed, they get a player turn. But if they fail, the guard, they get kicked out. They get chased off. That's so good. All right, so that's an option. And it's not like It's not safe, right? All right, so God, this map is getting super complicated. That's okay. All right, so they're not allowed in Darkwater. If they choose to try to find to make camp somewhere, then they get a player turn in the wilderness. Put that on this tier. Move these over. And that's a success. If they fail to make camp, I don't want to put another twist in because this is getting super complex. So let's do another condition over here. Auto resize that thing. There we go. And I'm going to say whoever tried to make camp, they get sick. Like, it rains on them. Roller gets sick. Everyone else, helpers are tired. And then they get their camp, but it's just going to be, like, kind of a mess. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, you make camp, but it sucks. It sucks trying to make camp in the wilderness. And then from the player turn in the wilderness, they go back to not allowed in Darkwater, and they have to do something else. Perfect. Thanks, Blue Jay. That's a great point. Yeah, we should give them the opportunity to make their own player turn. Okay. All right. So let's see what the next thing is here. Where are we missing? Where are we missing lines? Beg, borrow, or rent a boat. That needs a line, and we need make a boat and steal a boat. Right. So we just need the on the water. Yeah, we need the on the water test. So this is the sailing to Port Sumac. This is the test. So I'm going to encourage someone in the party to be like a boat crafter, because as you can see, boatcraft is really fucking important to this adventure. Like, really important. Hopefully someone will be able to be like MVP. If they oh, right. Seagulls need a fail condition too. Yep. Thank you. A squid. I don't think we're deep ocean enough for a squid. All right. So sailing to Port Sumac. It is an OB 5 boat crafter test. All right. So yeah, like a weather one is good. Like I like the idea of like a sudden storm, right? So it's like you're being bashed around and like, yeah, if you this is just the test. If they succeed or if they fail, one way or another we'll get progress, but I think that it's like, yeah, a terrible storm. So let's do that. Like the perfect storm. Survive the perfect storm. So this is like a batten down the hatches, you know, that kind of jam. So this is going to be what, like maybe a health test? Like just like lash yourself to the thing, hold on to the boat. Cause I don't think this isn't, you've already failed the boat crafter test. So I don't want to do a third one, right? Cause it could be like boat. I think this is just a health test. So yeah, let me look at health tests here. And yeah, we'll go back and we'll double check all the other stuff. We're not done yet. Health obstacles. Health is usually used for recovery, represents physical strength and well-being. Let's call it OB 3, because that's how we do. OB 3 health test. Just like, hold on, tiny mice. This is gonna be fun. I just like the idea of little mouse sailors on a 3-hour tour. Gilligan references. It's going to be dope. All right. Survive the perfect storm. And then if they do, they wash up in Port Sumac, right? That's where they end up. All right. And then if they fail to beg, borrow, or rent a boat, I mean, the failure here is I don't want it, maybe not a condition, but the next thing has to be you have to steal one, make one, or go the long way around, right? So all three of these just lead us back to as if you weren't allowed in Darkwater in the first place. Okay, so now I need to reorganize this so that these tests... There we go. That's clear, right? That makes sense. We can all tell what all these things point to. So you want to see something funny? Here, let me save this. Mouse guard, role play, one shot. You want to see something funny? This has a tool for making really, really ugly flowcharts automatically. Okay, here we go. Check it out. We're going to go ahead and arrange, lay out entire canvas. It's going to be hideous. Here it comes. Look at all those squiggly lines. This is what our adventure looks like. This one's actually not bad. Usually it's way, way more hideous than this, but this isn't too bad. This is what a mouse guard adventure looks like. That's not so bad. I don't like these lines, but it's doing what it has to do. This is fine. I'm okay with this. Anyway, let's finish laying it out this way, and then we'll let it do its thing. I think the reason I think it's ugly is because I like curved lines or straight lines, not like like squiggles. But and also I like top to bottom. There are some that kind of like go back. But anyway, let me figure out what we're missing here. So this is a success. So I got to color code these. This one's a success. These three are failures. But oh shit, I need an oh no, they're twists. So yes, that was right. They're just twists on the other thing. Okay, so those are twists. What else needs a line? What terminates? Oh, the seagulls need a red line. Boat crafter and steal a boat both need green lines. So the organizational part of my brain like really likes making flowcharts. Like there's something eternally satisfying to me about this. Okay. So there's that. What else needs a line out from it? Player turn in the wilderness is fine. Go the long way around has two. Bunch of seagulls squatting on the road. Oh yeah, this is the one where if it fails, we need something else. So let's put in a twist here. What could be the twist if they fail to deal with the seagulls? Should we have Wolford escape again? Oh no, Wolford is injured. Oh, that's perfect. Wolford gets hurt. Because they have to protect him. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. So Wolford is injured. We could also, I guess, I want to show the softer side of this mission. So I guess the other thing I could do is like Wolford, his friends come to like fight him or fight for him. But I like the idea that Wolford is injured because they have to do something with him. They have to help him because if he dies before they get him to town, the town is going to lose their shit. They're going to be like, the guard killed one of our citizens before he could try him. They're criminals. They're the fascists that everyone said they were. And the secret, like, person who's against the guard in town is going to be like, yes, Wolford is a martyr to our cause. Oh, that's so good. Yeah. I like this. Okay, so Wolford is injured. To succeed at him not dying, it's going to be an ob. We need a medicine test or whatever. I like that they're not going to do a ton of like fighting here. So what is it called in this? Healer, I think. Healer. Yeah, here we go. As if they were treating injured. Ob 3. Okay. Ob 3 healer test. Okay. All right. So what happens if they fail? Does he die? Oh, that would make things intense. That would become the whole campaign after that, right? Like, the town rebels. I think we have to go with a condition on this one because the problems are too serious here not to go with the condition if they fail. Because if he dies and they get to town, like... It fucks the whole mission up. If this were a campaign, I would definitely do that. He dies. I would definitely go with him dying. That's the bad ending. Yeah. I think here the issue is it's not that he's a prominent member of the town. The thing is we set out right at the beginning. The rule is the guard shall not judge. If Wilfred is to be put to death, it will be by a jury of his peers in Port Sumac, not by the guard. And if they bring him dead, they'll blame the guard. They'll be like, how dare you? And there would be like an uprising against the guard in Port Sumac. And that would be our campaign, right? Uprising in Sumac. Put down the uprising, try to survive, right? Like, again, I play this game real political. So, if Wilfred is injured, the Ob 3 healer test here, I think if they fail, remember now I introduce a twist, or I introduce a condition that they need to heal in Port Sumac. And I mean, I think angry, I think God, swiping the wrong way gives me GM turn Swan Song flashbacks. I think conditions and recovery 125. I don't think scared is in this game, is it? We'll look at my options. Angry, tired, injured, sick, hungry, and thirsty. Yeah, there's no scared. Scared is torchbearer. So either they treat him, but something bad happens to them. I mean, I could throw in sick. I could you just get sick from the effort, right? Like, it doesn't have to 1 for 1. Yeah, I'm gonna put sick. Sick and then tired for everyone else. So, healer, condition. Roller is sick. Is that what we're calling it? A roller is sick. Helpers are tired. And you show up sick and tired after healing this traitor, right? Because he's spreading not treason, because they're not the government, but he's trying to undermine the guard. Yeah, I like that. So you're just like the thing is what I do with this game is I pummel the guard mice. I pummel them so hard with you're a mouse. Nature wants to kill you. You're a mouse. Animals want to eat you. You're a mouse. Weasels hate you and want you to die. You're a member of the guard and no one respects your authority or your right. It's a very dark fantasy for me, right? Like, you can play it high fantasy cute mouse adventure, exactly. But I prefer. This is why I like Torchbearer so much too, because Torchbearer is this by default, but I like to brutalize my mice. I like to be like, yeah, guess what? It sucks being a mouse. And like, maybe you should just give up. Maybe you should just take off your cloak and go to Port Sumac and like farm, right? Be a mouse. Struggle against your nature. That's the core thing in the game. Because the nature mechanism is that the more the thing here is that the guard mice are fundamentally aside from civilization, right? They are from the mouse territories. A real mouse does not wield a sword. You're an alien. You're a strange person as a member of the guard. You've given up on mouse society to become this other thing. And I really think that that's where the game's like fun comes from. You know me, like if the game allows it, I think the most interesting thing you can do is put the characters in the worst possible situation and then watch them come to life. This game and Torchbearer are so good for that. So, cool. Okay, let's use the Arranger, because I think the Arranger might work for this one. Yeah, that's not so bad. It's a nice flowchart. I can understand that. So it begins with the 2 missions. And we wend our way down to Port Sumac with some opportunities for player turns in there. I think we're good. I think that's how that's gonna go. Yeah, it looks like a snake. Yeah, a little bit. I will export this, and I'll post it. I'll post it on the community forum, and I'll post it on I'll post it on the. I'll clean it up a little. I don't want to do that right now, and I'll post it on Twitter. Make sure that you know that it's a spoiler for people. Yeah, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back on Friday morning or afternoon, depending on where you're at, with this mouse guard mission. So that's how you prep mouse guard. Not so bad, huh? Thanks for coming, everybody. This has been my GM prep for the roleplay one-shot of Mouse Guard, featuring Bike Man, Fairlight Excalibur, Trista Ray, and Ezekiel III, and myself with JP producing. And if you like this, definitely tune in. If you want to see more Mouse Guard, you can find it. Just Google Mouse Guard RPG. The physical, if I had it, I would show you. The physical version of the game is beautiful. It's one of very few games that I would suggest you buy in physical. The box set comes with custom dice and a map, and it's so good. But if you're playing online, the PDF is all you need. You now have everything you need to prep your own adventure. And if you want to, you've now got a fairly complicated adventure that you can use at your own table. If you do end up running this, if you take the stuff that we've done and you run it yourself, please, let me know. I would love to hear how it goes for you. All right, that'll do her. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you on Friday.